Kami nga was ikong klase, oy, asam ning mga tao dire? Hi.
Kung ma'am, example ana is sa excavation ma'am, og if may backhoe mas dali ang excavation kaysa wa gud.
Oh, yes, exactly. So, just like kung mag-excavate ka, if you're just using, di ba, picks and pals, ang saga itong picks and pals, piko og pala, bara di ay bara og pala pod, no? Usually, so, if you're just using those tools, no? Tools in excavating, so, oy, na tubig, palihog og hatag. So it will take few days before you can excavate the exact the exact size of excavation that you are required. Rather, if you are using backhoe, no, and which is also called as excavator, so maybe those, let's say if makomplete nimo ang pag-excavate for 3 days, kaya ra nang buhaton sa backhoe in just one day. So just like that, no? So in such way, so you can kuan. O sa may na-save nimo,
Time, ma'am.
time plus unsa pa?
Money.
Resources.
Resources. Same ra siguro ang resources. Out kung when you mean material, same ra siguro. Kay same ra man ang volume. So time, nakasave ka. Money, yes. Nakasave ka. Nga namang nakasave man ka sa money? Bako. So, nakasave ka sa money because lesser ang day. So, pasabot ang salary and wages sa imuhang tao mo gamay. Plus, less pud ang imuhang tao. Instead of you need 5 to 10 persons no to excavate, usa na laman ingon si Ivy ang operator nam sa bako, pero kinahanglan gyapon na ay assistant siguro duha inana no kay na may tigtan-aw. Kay ang kana may na equipment dili man jud si ingon nga murag naa si Jay kung crane sa crane pa na rigger no, or pero na dyan na siya mga assistant kada kuan kada equipment so ana, so mahawgal magduha, so less gajud ang manpower, so na less ang money, so less manpower, less ang time. Okay, so ana si ka efficient, but siguro less ang money pero makayong tag less ang money kay murag na studyhan na po na siya before you are going to decide no if you're going to use a backhoe, I mean an equipment in general, di ba? If you're going to use an equipment, imo sa po na siyang i-analyze whether if it is effective and efficient, di ba? Kaya what if kayo no naman po lagi, di ba, ang equipment, it really cost a lot, di ba? So, dako og maintenance, mahal. So, kinahanglan imo pud sadya sa studyhan before ka mo jump into conclusion nga need na og equipment, just like that. Although we know that equipment can really help no in the project. So it was developed because they studied no that it is really a big help and a big leap no in the construction industry when you are going to use an equipment. So just recently, you really need to go back on your engineering economy because just recently, one of my classmates asked me, no, ning tawag si Janaho, kurat kong tawag mo si Janaho, dili man may ingon nga, anang, sige, communicate ba? So, ani ni si Jan, ang tawag si Janaho because he was asking if I know how to compute the how to compute the daily rate of the equipment. So ano ba? Because his boss told him that told him nga naamang gud sila bag-ong equipment magipalit. Unja ipa-compute ni dia ang hourly cost sa equipment up to its salvage value. So timely, I was able to read the book. Ang ka-timely jud kaadyo nga mao pa yung gibasa. Kay mga bot ra pud unta ko. Kay nakalimot na lagi ko sa engineering economy. So ana siya guys. So dili jud ay kinahanglan jud ay nato ninjo nato nga dili jud nato kalimtan about the principle of engineering economy, because we really need also to master those when we are in the field, no? Kay it's one of our it's one of our duty also to determine unsa ang rate of productivity niya, ang ijahang, of course we can get the hourly cost, operation cost niya, including na una-una ahana na si Jay. Let's say depende na sa specs sa imong equipment nga gipalit, no? Let's say ang kini siya nga equipment ang ijahang hours maximum nga hours to operate is, let's say 8,400 or let's say 10,000 hours. So kanang 10,000 hours unja given nga ang ijang efficiency kintahay, so 10,000 per hour. So given efficiency niya moingani kag efficiency niya ang kaya ra niyang trabahoon nga maximum ha, dili nimo i-overwork. What will happen if i-overwork nimo ang kuan? Let's say may ang ijahang yearly nga capacity to do the job is 1,400 hours. So ana kay murag per hour man siguro ang pag-determine ana sa ilang number of hours nga trabahoon, no? So pila man ka kuan, pila ka years last ang kuan, ang equipment. Given you have a maximum of 10,000, unja ang ijahang yearly nga maximum efficiency to do the job is 1,400. Pila man guys? Before nimo si hatagan sa ijang salvage value. Uy. Hello? Asa medyo mga kalkyo? Wa may manubag? Apa ba mo diha? Hello? Pila Ivy? Ha?
Isa.
10,000 ang ijang maximum kuan ha hours.
Diyan sa kanang rebar. O kanana. Oh. Sila yung himuan ra niya.
Uy. Asmo Kalyunilin, nag-site visit man siguro Kalyunilin?
Sorry, ma'am.
Abi kog ning answer ka? Pila man?
7 years ang kuan, ma'am.
7 years? So, let's say, 10,000 ang ijang maximum hours. 10,000. Unja. Na ay, tag 1,400 kada tuig. So, divided by 1,4. Yes, it's 7.1. No, 7.14. So, 14% of 12 times 0.14. So, mga around round off na naman to, 7 years and 2 months. Ijang maximum. Nga? Lifespan. After that, salvage value na si Jano. So, Gano man kinahanglan nato nga gijaan na nato ng equipment after the salvage value. Ah,
Madak-an mas maintenance, ma'am.
yes. So, it says nga to keep an equipment in a good condition is really helpful. Pero kanang mag-keep kag equipment nga sige nagkaguba-guba, it's not profitable anymore. So as much as possible, dapat ang imuhang mga equipment is unsa man mga bag-o jud, no? Inigpalit nimo dili ng mga second hand. Kaya nga no, yes, baka barato to second hand kay barato na siya pagpalit nimo compared to the new one. But ari man kapat dun sa mga maintenance good ni Jah, no? At least sa mga bag-o na atay gitawag og kanang kuan PMS, no, kinahanglan jud si Jah as a periodic maintenance. Jah, I as what one of my mentors says na di siya ganahan magpalit og equipment sa una, pero karon murag kinahanglan na anam siya daghang mga equipment, pero sige siya ingon na una nga di ko palit og equipment kay labads o. Yes, labad jud sa o kay ijang mga gipamalit sa una is mga second hand, no? Ja magsigira kag kuan, magsigira kag pa-repair, sige pa-repair inana, so lisod ka adyo. So equipment can only be kuan, you can gain profit from it, no? Kung bag-o siya. But kung moabot na siya siyang salvage value, maximum numbers of hours nga usage niya, dili na siya maadyo. So from that, you can compute also the hourly cost rate. So nganong kinahanglan nimong computean ang hourly cost rate niya? Kay para diha nimo makibaw-an nga maka ginansya ba ka or di, o usap pod if ang imong hapod nga kuan, ang imong hapod nga kanan ay kitahay og nay mo rent sa imuhang kuan, kay baw ka unsaon nimo pag presyo sa imuhang mga equipment. Okay, kay naman jud ubano mo rent. Okay, so that's it. So mara sa kuan. So let's go to the kuan proper discussion na. So, di ba, the first time is the last week I just let you watch no the introduction. So ang sa introduction is sang gipatan-aw ninyo ang mga kuan, ang mga masayngan kanang katong nakita naman pud mo ato katong itong sa modern, di ba? Modern construction. Kahinom daw mo? Uy.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, mo
Yes, ma'am.
yung gibalik. So those katong gipabalik tong mga uban nga mga kuan, di ba? Mga trends, di ba? Mga trends sa modern construction. So the medieval method versus the modern methods. Okay, so asa kadali manghit sa ako kadali guys. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry for that, kuan, interruption. Okay, so um, if you check your canvas, guys, na ako gi-share nga kuan. Na ako gi-share sa canvas ninyo regarding on the construction project life cycle. Okay? So it's just can you see my kuan?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Kita mo.
ma'am.
Okay. So actually, so sa atong C824, I really used the construction development cycle because as what I think it's the most suitable nga kuan ba nga process that we need to kuan kanang i-internalize na to ba, no, as we learn about project management. But actually bisan sa masteral, they are really talking about project life cycle, no, PLC, not the PDC. But so let's just tackle first the project life cycle, no, para mahibawaan po ni Josie kalahian di ay sa project life cycle o sa project development cycle. Okay? So, ibalhin ni kay Samo. Okay. So, I have here a kuan from the constructor nga kuan nga article. So, usually kami po sa masteral guys kay more on article ra pud mi pabasahon, no? Ay at least sa article manggo dili siya stagnant, more on updated siya compare kung sa kuan sa libro. Kay sa libro, yes, basic na no? But for mga recent articles, ang ilahang mga ideas are really kanang kuan ba, kanang updated siya. So that's why I also get this idea from my prof, no, kay usually mo iguro jud siya na mga read an article regarding about mga ana-ana. So and it's really helpful, no, kay daghan si Jang kuan more updated jud siya ba. Okay? So construction project life cycle, so phases in life cycle of a construction project. Naka-open na mo ane? Wa. Okay, so if you have time, you also open this one para makuan. So it says that every individual kuno in the process of planning. So, di ba sa atong PDC, we have the 3 stages, phases, the pre-investment, the investment phase, and the post-investment phase. And then we have also 7 stages under the 3 phases, di ba? Kung sa ganito mga 7 stages, sige ko balik-balik pangutanaan eh. Sige, ko balik-balik pangutana until such time nga ma-master na dyan na ninyo. Guys, kaya mo ba dyan na inyong specialization? Nag-specialize mo project management, humadi mo ka master sa kuan, project development cycle. Sa ganitong mga stages, 7 stages of project development cycle?
Project identification.
Okay.
Initiation.
Identification or initiation.
Preparation.
Next. Okay, project
preparation.
Okay, project preparation. That is where you're preparing the not so detailed yung mga plans, no? Your conceptualization, sa panadiha, no? Financing, planning. After that,
appraisal and financing.
Okay, so appraisal and financing. So ika-fourth,
Engineering,
okay, engineering and detailed design. Ja,
implementation and
Implementation
construction.
and construction.
implementation and construction. So that is where most of the resources are being poured, no? Because
Life one nilo.
paspas na movement sa imong resources, money, ang imong manpower, equipment, sa patong ba resources, information, technology, no? O ang imong methodology. So after the implementation,
Operation and maintenance.
operation and maintenance, no, is where you are going to guide, no, the owner of the building or the project of and how are they going to operate the building, and if there is any requirement for repairs, small repairs and additional work, it should be catered by the contractor on a given warranty period. So mana siya. And then after that, the last
Post-project
part
evaluation.
is the post-project evaluation. So this is the time where you are going to, unsa man?
I-evaluate nimo ma'am og unsay na og kanang na i-compare nimo ang plan sa mga nahimo.
Okay, so i-compare nimo ang imong plano og sa na-implement nimo if naabay mga lapses or what. And it is your way of assessing if you really need to improve, no, the the way or the process that you undergone on that project, so that on the next projects you will do better. Okay, so that is why it's called the project development cycle. Okay, very good, no? Okay, very good si si GP. Pwede na ka matawag na GP. Kuan na ka. Nag-specialize na ka kag project management. Okay. So in the project life cycle, ang ilahang balik-balik na din hisgutan, guys. Not the 7, but this one. The planning, designing, financing, constructing, and the operating of the physical facilities. No? So actually naapad yun naa sa operating, nasud na diha ang review. And which is mura siya og unlike sa 7 stages nga gihatagan jud siya og emphasis bitaw, no, not jud siya kaugalingon nga stage. Okay, so but here sa project life cycle, everything has been consolidated into into 4 or 5 ka mga stages. Okay, so to gain the different viewpoints of the project management for construction, the contribution of proficient knowledge can be very beneficial, mainly when it comes to large and complicated projects, since experts in various specialties can offer valuable services. So, kinahanglan jud ang thorough nga studies regarding sa projects, labi na kung high ang complexity of the project. Kanabang dinagko nakaadyo, so dili na tong CR, dili na ng mga bungalow houses, dili na ng mga unsa pa na diha. So dili ra kay basta-basta ka nag-concrete pavement. Ina na ba? So na siguro din hinana ka na involved nga mga skyways, bridges, na gitawag og kanang tagko bitaw nga mga earth wall kana siya, so which is involved na og mga structural analysis, complications sa trabaho, daghang activities, so very massive ang ijahang operation. So it really needs a thorough nga planning, execution, planning, designing, execution of the project, and of course the financing, unsaon nimo pag-finance in order for the project to be finished, di ba? Kay usa man gud na sa pinaka, as what we have identified, di ba, sa atong sa atong CE24 unsa may mga what makes the project stick, di ba? Hinumdum mo sa inyong gibasa. Guys, hinumdum mo sa inyong gibasa, what makes the project stick? Natakdan og coronavirus? Ha?
Kuan ma'am, economic crisis.
Okay, one thing is due to economic crisis, no, kana jud murag lisod gyud na siya. Dili na nato failure sa atong part as a contractor because if when you say there's a global economic crisis, so dili ra ta kadyo ma-worry sa atong part ba. Kung ako contractor, nga naman. Nga nung di man ta kadyo ma-worry kung let's say economic crisis. Although mawari gadjud ta. Mawari gadjud ta no kay tanan man apektado pero kung ako it's not a big deal for me no nga nagkanaay kuan because you have all the reasons to lay off, di ba? To lay off your kanang naay mga tao, stop the project. Ngano man? Ngano man guys?
Para nakabaybay valid reason ma'am nga nang na-delay ang project nga na.
Yes. Kuan mo na siya, that's the very acceptable reason why the project has been delayed, no? Because of these circumstances. But what really makes kuan alarming if the contractor itself has its economic crisis, no? Diba? Its own economic crisis kay wa manggajud ka ikaw og mang-lay off ka tungod kay naglisod na ka sa imuhang finances. Nagpaundang na ka syempre makiyaan man ka narabotay dole, no? So although pwede nimo siya illegally dismiss but you have to pay, no, for those workers nga na lay off. Ja, wa jud kay laing kuan, wa jud kay laing kapaingnan kung ang pinaka last resort nimo ana diha is to declare bankruptcy, diba? Declare na lamang kag bankruptcy para magkana jud kay rason nga maka-lay off ka. So it's really sa financing jud very kuan jud na siya, very crucial. So it's really kuan kay di ba ta mga singan. We are engineers, we are not kuan accountants. And what really makes us hard to deal with finances is kita we're used to spend. Inana, kabantay mo sa kuan mga contractor, no? Diba, o contractor ka, unsa na sila mga galante, no? Uy. Okay, syempre para madali lagi pahumot lagi, and then if you really not being kuan singan kanan ay you're really not being serious in handling your finances, of course mo lagi gadyo na muduwa gadyo ta mo bitan na uban o galanti ka syempre
Under the table.
daghan na mga under the table negotiations, mga red tape, no? Unja mo lagi mag-renize na lamang po ta. What will suffer is ang quality sa ato project, no? As you can see karon daghan na pong mga project kay what is kuan lagi ang election is coming man. So ana si Jano, so mo lagi pura mo nang kasagaran alisura jud bitaw, alisura labi na diri sa ato sa Pilipinas, where we know that murag namat-an na siguro na to ambot karon sa apa ni si Jam ma-eradicate sa atong system, no, nga ambot bisan unsaon siguro, no, bisan siguro ang presidente muling ko, di ba? Ang hitabo is corruption is really still there. Kaya mura man og nakaroot na siya sa system na to, no? Ang mo ana di. May basig na yung mga politicians diri ha. Kasukan dya ko. Di kasi mga pamilya diri sa mga politiko. Kasi may na mga gabyula dire, merkado.
ma'am.
Si Jepe, Jepe, basig mo, mutugan ka Jepe ha? Jep,
Hindi
sa
mo ay.
tutugan Jep. But it's really obvious, di ba? Obvious ba dya, no? So, ano ba? It's really sad, no? Although, di man ta magpakabuta or magpakabungol, di ba? So, kuan si Jack kanang medyo kanang sad lagi. Kaya di naman dyan na mawa sa atong system. Ambot naman ka. Tapos apa, no? I just remember one of our trip in Singapore nga. Kada ito itong, di ako'y aning sakay mi og taxi, padong na mi uli ato, Pilipinas. Padong na mi airport, sakay mi taxi, padong airport, dya. Karang, it's really, kuan, happy to know when somebody talks about their government that they're really proud of their government. Inana ba? Nakakuan mo? No nga. Pero ang taxi driver, tabian ko tong taxi driver, oy. Sige istorya, inana ba dya? You're from, you're from Philippines. Yes, yes, we're from Philippines. Kanang, why mura ba lagi binarok ang mura binarok ba lagi na ilang istorya ba kuan to know why you need to go back Philippines, you did not enjoy Singapore gang nan me po dang banang really like Singapore ko nandiyan really like Singapore, but the thing is my family needs to go back to the Philippines because it's already kuan kana na ay school time na ba, the vacation is over giingnan sa bana dyan. And oh, so why not kuan kuno let your kuan let your kids kuno study here in Singapore. And puta mi na, it's very expensive, we cannot afford. So ano siya, yes, everything here in Singapore kuno is very expensive, but you know what? I'm already pinato dyan edad 65 years old. Yet I'm still driving kuno this cab, earning for myself because I cannot kuan ko no let my children pay for my medication kuan I should have to stand with my own because my children also have their own family na anak siya. And then in my 60 years here in Singapore kuno I don't have any complaint about the government, although it's very expensive, the taxes are very high, no, almost pila to ka percentage kuno sa ijahang income paon kuno sa government, but I don't have any grief about that because as you can see I'm very proud of my country kuno, development here, there, everywhere kuno. It's really kuan kuno, the government really doing good kuno, pinaingon si siya as in proud siya sa ijahang country. Anja he don't mind paying big taxes kuno. If he gets sick kuno, I can have my insurance from the government. Inana ba? So, and then although I really need sa ato, di ba sa ato sa Pilipinas pag abot na kag 60 years old, retireable na. So gusto na naman ta maghuwat o pension. No, sitting pretty, di ba? Di ba tinuod na? Yes. Pero sa Singapore, guys, maluit ako personally maluit magtan-aw kay na ay mga tiguwang bitaw, mga tiguwang na kanang more hunchback na kanang nang gijukog na ilang trabaho no, malimpyo sa kanang mga stalls, magmap sa floor, ana dya. Makakita po ka even though at their age, makitaan po din mo sila sa mga fast food chain like mga McDo, Jollibee, ana, mag-cashier, kanang mag-map, manglimpyo. Ana jud sila nga to. Knowing ba nga sa Pilipinas ni kini mga idara wa na stay at home na ni sila. Maglingkod-lingkod na jud ni sila, maghuwat mga pensyonado, pensyonada. Ana ba? Sa ilang nga to as in working pa jud, no? Then wa sila reklamo. So Pinay ara ka reklamador. Ara ka reklamador nga tanan. Lagi, you cannot discriminate them no kanang from their job. Kay one thing kanang na, di ba sa ato diri if langan-langanon ka, singkahan ka sa kanang mga customer, di ba? Sa ilang adto no, makita ka bisag naka-slip disc siguro tong tiguwang bitaw nga nagkuan, hinadya lihok. Ikaw ka customer, you really need to wait patiently. No, dili ka pwede mo reklamo. Moingon ba tadadyon nga customers is always right. Napay mga tiguwang itaw nga maglimpyo sa magmap. Butangan biya na nila kuan. Unsa na? Caution, wet floor. Inana ba? Kaya lagi mga bata magpatakag dagan-dagan kasuan. Kasuan sa katong janitress nga nagmap. Ikaw na lang pwede mag-sorry, di ka mo kuan, dili ka nila pwede mo kuan ba? Mo makig-argue. Kay actually they're right, no? Kay kita siya nga wet floor ana ba? So lahi ra kaadyo ang sistema ba, no? So I hope nga time will come also that we will be proud no nga bisan pa unsa kadako ang atong taxes. Di ba? So siguro bayad ta og 30% tax sa atong kuano if we already see the output bitaw na natay mga free medical insurance, nindot ang atong mga facilities, mga public transport, di ba? So dili jud siguro ta mo abot sa point nga magsigit tag reklamo. Okay, so much for that. Kay murag ni taas. Okay, so ay nata. Amo bua patagi. So on the other hand, it is very important and advantageous to understand how different parts of the process match together. So if you recall on CE24, no, like we have the interrelated constraints, right? Oy. What are those four interrelated constraints? Ano man to? The scope,
Schedule, budget, and
the
quality.
schedule, budget, and
Quality.
quality. So mo po na siya diri ang gikuan dapat no on its process everything must be matched together. So it's about the scope of the project, the quality, the schedule, the budget, kana sila. So dapat none of this will be left behind or kabang why mabidyaan, no? So why mabidyaan? Kinahanglan nagmatch jud sila. So it really needs a proper coordination because poor coordination and communication between the specialized can result a waste, excessive cost, and delays. So mo din sa pasabot ang ma-waste ra ang imong project because it's lack of quality, no? Unja you are out of the budget, then you are out of the timeline. So ana si Jaka kuan, so maguna-una pa lamang kadaan ana no murag arang sakitas o di ay mahimong contractor, right? Guys.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Oh. So sakit ka sa o mahimong contractor, but I do hope nga wa mo na discourage. Anak mo di, ma-realize mo, anak din na ka stressful, no? Sorry, pa-balance ang kwarta. Kaya ako gusto na ko sige spend. Anak ba? No, kaya, syempre, huwag na tayo project, lamit dyan ka ng kuan. Pero huna-hunaon dyan mo, you have to balance everything. So, it is chiefly the requirement of the owner to assure that such flaws do not happen between them. And if ever lumanggod na si so the contractor and the owner of the project might have kanang big arguments, no? And it owes all participants to involved in the project to regard the interest of the owners. So, unsa may interest sa owners? Of course, ang mahuman ang ijang project nga makuntinto siya, no? Quality-wise, cost-wise, no? And of course, within the time frame. Okay? So, no arguments na ana, basta okay. So, it is the owners who provide the resources that makes the decision. So, kita, contractor ta, we have to be, we have to do what the owner wanted us to do. So, dili ta magbuot kung sa atong gusto. So, implementation of the owner's viewpoint will help the participant to focus the completion of the project by having a proper attention in the process of the project management for the constructed facilities. So it's really important, no, to religiously follow or practice, no, whatever we have learned from the project management, no, in order for us to achieve our objective. Diba? So it's really important. So this would minimize the old concept of bringing decisions based on historical rules of specialists involved in the project. So, specialists mentioned are the planners, mga architects, engineering designers, constructors, fabricators, material supplier, mga financial analysts, and others. So imagine, kadaghan ang mga tao na get involved into a project. So it's really important yun nga na proper communication and coordination all among the members of the project participants. Although we have 5 mga main project participants, right? Kinsa to gani sila? Atong sa atong C24. Guys, kinsa to sila? The 5.
Owner,
The owner, designer, contractor or the builder,
project management engineer,
project manager of the owner,
funder.
and also the lender. So, kana sila. But here, daghan di pang mention ni Jano. Although kana sila, naanak to sila na bilongad to. So, sa planners and architects, of course, nga to na sila sa designer, engineering, and also engineering designers, mga contractors, so the builder, specialist, fabricators, materials, so kana mga subcons, under pa na sila sa contractor or builders, and financial analyst, the lending institution, no, the lender, so kana sila. So it's true that each specialist individually has a lot of contribution to the advances seen in the construction field. But the understanding of the entire process of the project management will make them respond more effectively to the owner's desire. Hence, they can contribute their proficiency through opinions in the improving productivity, quality of their work, no, enhancement of the project, project management, both construction industries, which in turn facilitates the development national and world economy. So really, the construction industry, whether they admit it or not, it has really big impact, no, in the world economy. Because as we know, engineering shapes the world, di ba? So every project really has something to do with the world economy, di ba? Kay it's a sign of a development. So when you see a place where there are massive construction projects, you can see that ning develop jud ang usa ka lugar, di ba? Kay kung di ka kita og mga construction guys so sa ka lugar, it means stagnant siya, no? Ang ilang kalsada napabiling gihapong lubak-lubak, ang ilang mga bahay sa palibot puro gihapon made out of nipa hat ana ba. So makayon ka wide development. But sa usa ka lugar kita nimo ng tag-as ng mga building ng butho na ay daghan ng mga kuan nindot na ang mga um, means of transportation, nindot na ang mga kalsada, na mga skyways, na railways. So it's kuan, it's a sign that that area has been developed, no? And it's kuan. You can really say that all those infra, no, all those buildings had contributed to the augmentation of the world's economy. So to have a significant improvement, to know that the construction industry is working environment and the institutional constraints affecting its activities, the nature of the project management. So, construction project life cycle. So the purchase of the constructed facilities is a major investment. The owner can be an individual, a private corporation, or a public agency. As a commitment, resources for such large investment is stimulated by market demands or real needs. So the facility is likely to satisfy the certain objectives. So muna, balik-balik na itong storya, no? So these requirements will be within the constraints of the specified owner and applicable policies. Most of the constructed facilities are custom-made in consultation with the owner, with an exemption in the case of residential units that may be sold as built by the real estate developer. But yes, usually it's more convenient for others, di ba? Also man doon ang mga condominiums, ang mga townhouses, which are already built, accustomed by the real estate developer, no, kay pag ano good mga inana we can say that it's a low cost housing, medyo mas less kuan siya, less expensive rather than have your own concept, di ba? Ikaw magpa-design pa ka, magpakuan pa kay na ba? So mo na ang common karon, no? So as built as real estate developer. So ay kamo igo na lamang kamo bayad monthly. So he is regarded as sponsor of the building project so far as the government agency may be the sponsor of the public project. So and turns it over to another government unit upon its completion. For the project management, the terms of owner and sponsor are one of the same because of both ultimate power that makes important decisions. It's judicious for any owner to have a clear understanding of the acquisition process to sustain a firm control of quality. So, firm control of quality, timeliness, cost, completed facilities, as he essentially acquiring the facility on a promise of some form of agreement. So, usually, mga pag-ibig, kuan, housing loans, anak. So, that is the scheme, no? Agreement. Okay? So una gihapon so gihapon diha lagi ang kuano, ang time, ang quality, ang scope ug ang budget. So inana siya ka kuan. So isang ngayon nga ang katong mga uban nga mga projects that are kuan, there are projects housing like the NHA, the National Housing Authority, where they build mga gawad kalinga, mga houses, no, that has been labi na kutong sa mga gipang relocate o katong mga gipang mga victims of typhoons where nawa ang ilahang mga house, so they can be the government give them katong mga low cost housing. So but siguro inana na siguro, no, kay ang anyway di man punta sa maka-blame sa Singapore, because if you compare Philippines to Singapore, ang Singapore man good has a very small kuano man good siya area, no, sa ilang adto dito guys, mostly ang ilahang common na kanang na ay housing facility is what they call the HDB or housing development. Sa nang B, oy. Kalimut mo sa to B. Wala siya. That is a housing project for homeowners. Kaya bang mga ordinaryo ra nga mga tao nila nga to mga Singaporean citizens. So mo na ihatag sa government nila. So mo nang di kadyo kakita og mga mo siguro na gihunahon na ni guys. Gihunahon na ni Pacquiao mo nang gusto ni Jang mo mudagan pagka presidente. No, as in as in determinado jud siya mudagan pagka presidente. He is willing to run as as an independent candidate, no? So magsulo si Jagdagan. Pero lisod na nato i-achieve diri sa Pilipinas. So sa ila nga to advisable na kay gamay man ang ilahang lugar. So murag gyapon na siya og condo style ang ilang mga HDB. So gipa puy-an sa mga commoners siguro at a small cost ra or libre ba na siya. Pero murag na agyapon na siya bayad pero very minimum. Inja. Kasagaran mga expat nga to pwede sila sa condominium. Diri sa ato although yes, condo is kanang muraog. Dili sa Pilipinas, di ba, pag nakay kondo, dato na ka, no? Ngadto, hinoon, maingon na ka nga dili, kaadyo kay ang kondo kay rentahan sa mga kanang mga expats, no? Like, mga alien sa ilahang nagto, like mga OFW nato, ina na ba? Maprinta sila ngadto, at sila mo stay, i-divide nila bayad, medyo mahal siya. Pero ngadto kung owner ka og kini ba para sa ato kanang atong mga usual nga mga bahay nga naay gitukuran juta, no? Og dito ta sa Singapore ina na atong status nga natay kaugalingong juta, natay kaugalingong bahay, dato na ta. No? Yahay. Katong mga landed, gitawag na nila og mga landed, no? Na kay kaugalingong bay, imong juta. So kung inana ang imong status, medyo nakaangat-angat ka. So naa ka siguro sa mga kumbaga millionaires ka sa ilaha, no? Kay sa kagamay ba naman sa juta sa Singapore, diyan naka-own pa ka og juta. Okay, so going back. So the project life cycle for a constructed facility may be represented schematically on the figure 1.A. So project meets market demands or requirement on timely basis. So a variety of possibilities may be taken into consideration in the conceptual planning stage. So hence, the technological as well as the economic feasibility of each option will be assessed and compared to select the best possible projects. So unsa man nila pag-determine, this is the project identification stage, right? Uy. Diba guys? Kung mo siya itan-awon sa PDC nato, when you say you are going to look after the market demands or perceived needs, so maguna-una ka, unsa may gikinahanglan karon? What is the current trend? No? Unsa may swak? Kung ikaw contractor ba, unsa may maadyong project? So, siguro maghimo og kondo kay daghan lagi nang mamalit. Ana, so nagtukod og kondo. It's because of market demands. Or unsa kinahanglan nato sa project? If you recall the atong video nga gipakita ninyo regarding on the Procurement Act, no, where on how to determine what will be the project of the government for the following years, di ba? So mag-line up na sila daan, so they are going to assess what are the projects nga kinahanglan i-priority or less priority. So kung priority si nga project, so dapat by next year mataga na si budget, i-line up na nimo siya, and then ipang-distribute na nimo siya sa mga other government agencies, no? So ana ang pagkuan sa procurement act. So this is the identification or the initiation stage. Then, of course, after you identify, so nanatay conceptual planning. So mani ang katong project preparation stage. By conceptualization, visualization of what will be going on the project. So it's a matter of a feasibility studies, no? Nana dinhi ang conceptual plan and kwan. So dili pa ni ang katong rigid plan nga with specifications and mga details, no? After that, man ni siya gihimuan na nila engineering detail design. So nawa wa nila gi-appeal diri ang katong unsay nawa? Guys, unsay nawa? Hello? Okay, appraisal and financing, what na nila diri consider si appraisal and financing, and which is as what I have told you earlier, it's very important no that kahibaw jud ka unsaon nimo pagduwa ang imuhang finances sa usa ka project. Ang diri wa kaadyo nila gihataga importansya, knowing that ikaw contractor ka, so you have the money, no? You have the money, you have the enough money to do the operating cost. Okay? So mo nandito sila sa design and engineering details. So nana dinhi ang paghimo na sa construction plans and specifications. But ilang gibutang diri si procurement and construction. So si dito na tag implementation. Wa dito gi-consider ang pagpamalit sa mga resources. So dinhi gibutang pud nila diri si procurement. Okay. Then after that nawa na pud si unsay nawa dire? Awa na. Okay ra kay dito na katurang feasibility study aw katurang financing. And then he start up for occupancy. So this is the stage where this the operation and maintenance. Di ba? Start up for occupancy, and then okay, so stop up pag-accept para juday ni siya, and then operation and maintenance, and then of course disposal of facilities. So meaning kuan na sila kintahay after few years of occupying, no, like mura siya og ang ijahang concept is disposal of facilities. Kaya bang ning-abot ka sa point nga paano siya mura siya og gibutang nila nga ang usa ka project is also already disposable. Na-gets ninyo? Oy, kabang kuan na end na sa ijang useful life. Let's say kung kini nga building ang 10-year ani niya is 20 years, so at the end of 20 years wa na gubon na pud nato ato na pud na diyang kay na sa gawas, di ba? I-blasting nila after dili kita nila nga ang usa ka structure is not already kuan na kanang structurally stable. Silang buhaton ilang i-demolish, di ba? Ilang pangtamnan og mga bomba, buton, that is disposal of facility na. Nagets ninyo?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So mura
ma'am.
diyang ang edya diha is gitawag si diyang mura na siya disposable ang imuhang project, no, kay gitan-aw nila up to the end of its usage sa project life cycle. Okay, so the project life cycle of a constructed facilities na siya, so up to kuan na kanang pag-abolish na sa kuan dya tukura na puglain, Muna ilhang concept.